Oh, Lizzy, Mr. Bingley's going to arrange a Highland reel for us. Come along.
Yes, please do. Shall we?
I must insist that you look at Jane and Mr. Bingley. The dear boy makes no secret of his admiration. And the week she was ill here at Netherfield completed the conquest. I knew it would. Wasn't it clever of me to send her over in the rain? And of course, dear Jane will see that the other girls have an opportunity of meeting all sorts of rich young men.
I told you not to drink so much punch, Kitty. I know you're quite tipsy.
I am not.
Hold up.
You're Mr. Hello, Lizzy. Hello, Mr. Darcy. Look at Kitty. She's drunk as the Lord.
I am not.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will choose your partners, we will all have a Highland reel.
Such a gay dance, the reel.
Won't you allow me to take you in? I'm sure there must be many young men who are eager to dance it with you.
Ah, Miss Elizabeth, do you recall the first dance? Ah, sir, will you please accept the humble apology of one who's only just learned that you are the nephew of my esteemed patroness, Lady Catherine de Bourgh?
Indeed.
You will be happy to learn that when I left her 2 weeks ago, your gracious aunt was enjoying the best of health. What graciousness, what condescension.
What snobbery.
Sir Liza, please remember that Mr. Darcy is the nephew of Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
I do, Mr. Collins. I also remember that Mr. Darcy is the sort of person who offers his friendship and then at the first test of loyalty, withdraws it. Shall we go inside?
Of course.
I've long known you to be without scruples or sensibility. I now know you to be without shame either. You will either leave this house of your own volition, or I shall have the servants remove you by force.
You may be senior of Pemberley, Darcy, but your jurisdiction does not run as far as Hertfordshire. However, I feel the prospect of an evening spent amongst the farmers and traders of Meryton hardly merits a quarrel. You are welcome to them.
My apologies for you.
The rector of a parish must make such agreement for tithes as may be beneficial to himself without being offensive to his patron.
Look forward a great deal to dancing with Mr. Wickham.
He must write his own sermon.
Why is he not here?
He must improve his dwelling, making it as comfortable as possible.
Imagine he wished to avoid a certain gentleman, Mr. Darcy. He is plainly a young man of sensibility who would rather absent himself and embarrass his host. Poor Lizzy.
He must have attentive and conciliatory manners towards everybody.
If I am condemned to an evening spent dancing with my cousin, it's making me black and blue.
Especially those to whom he owes his preferment.
Miss Elizabeth, will you do me the honour of dancing the next dance with me?
Why, yes, Mr. Darcy. Of course. Oh, Charlotte, what has come over me? Why did I accept him? Out of my mind? I dare say you will find him very agreeable. Oh, heaven forbid. To find a man agreeable whom one is determined to hate. Do not wish me such an evil.
Oh, Lizzy, do not be a simpleton.
Do not allow your fancy for Wickham to make you appear unpleasant in the eyes of one who is many times his superior in consequence.
I care nothing for consequence.
Miss Elizabeth?
The fair Miss Lucas, allow me to solicit the honour of your hand in this dance.
Charlotte, Mr. Wickham was not here. I'd been so certain to see him. I dressed with such care, and now I am disappointed. He's been purposely omitted for Mr. Darcy's pleasure.
There are young men here 10 times Mr. Wickham's consequence.
You do not think well of Mr. Wickham?
No, I do not. You were not born for ill humour, and he has put you in one.
Mr. Wickham went to town, especially to avoid meeting Mr. Darcy. Captain Benny said so. Well, aren't you sorry? Everyone else is.
It is pleasant to see you.
When the dance recommences, Miss Eliza, I hope you will partner me. My cousin Jane is also free. I trust she attributes my preference to the right causes. At social events, the honour due to seniority must sometimes give way to the spirit of jollity.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. I should be honoured.
Don't be such a simpleton, Lizzy. Don't let your fancy for Mr. Wickham make you appear unpleasant to Mr. Darcy.
Any civility at all to Mr. Darcy is injury to Mr. Wickham.
Miss Charlotte, may I have the pleasure of this dance?
Why, certainly, Captain Denny.
May I have the honour, Miss Bennet, to set out next?
Bennet, you look quite remarkably well this evening.
Thank you.
I'm instructed to convey to you, Miss Bennet, my friend Wickham's most particular regrets that he's been prevented from attending the ball. He's been obliged to go to town on a matter of urgent business, though I don't imagine it would have been so urgent if he'd not wished to avoid a certain gentleman.
Denny, I hope you've come prepared to dance with us tonight.
Forgive the intrusion, ma'am. I would dance with both your sisters at once if I could, but as it is...
Never mind that. Come on, Denny. Charlotte, I have so much to acquaint you with. Charlotte, may I present our cousin, Mr. Collins, my friend, Miss Lucas. How do you do, sir?
Miss Lucas, I am indeed honoured to meet any friend of my fair cousins. So many agreeable young ladies. I'm quite enraptured.
Collins.
Madam, 1,000.
Come, Mr. Collins.
My dear cousin, I apologize.
Are you sure it's true? Charlotte, how could it be otherwise? Every circumstance confirms it, and Mr. Darcy has boasted to me himself of his resentful, implacable...
If you're not otherwise engaged, would you do me the honour of dancing the next of me, Miss Bennet?
Why, I had not... I thank you, yes. Why could I not think of an excuse? Hateful man. I promised myself I would never dance with him.
He pays you a great compliment in singling you out, Lizzy. Think what you're doing. You'd be a simpleton indeed if you let your fancy for Wickham lead you to slight a man of 10 times his consequence.
Lizzy, Mr. Wickham is not here. Apparently he's been detained.
Detained where? He must be here.
There you are.
Mr. Collins.
Perhaps you will do me the honour, Miss Elizabeth.
Oh. I did not think you danced, Mr. Collins.
I do not think it incompatible with the office of a clergyman to indulge in such an innocent diversion. In fact, several people, with her ladyship included, have complimented me on my lightness of foot.
Apparently your Mr. Wickham has been called on some business to town.
To be sure, dancing is of little consequence to me, but it does afford the opportunity to lavish upon one's partner.
My informant tells me that he would have been less inclined...
delicate attentions, which is my...
That he would be less inclined to be engaged, were it not for the presence at Netherfield of a certain gentleman.
Which is my primary object of the evening.
That gentleman barely warrants the name.
It is my intention, if I may be so bold, to remain close to you throughout the evening.
May I have the next dance, Miss Elizabeth?
You may.
Did I just agree to dance with Mr. Darcy? I dare say you will find him very amiable, Lizzy. It would be most inconvenient since I've sworn to loathe him for all eternity.